All right then, guys. Jumping straight into the session, what would you like to do?
Well, what I wanted to do was get some rest, but if the first thing we're doing in the morning is heading back to Alexandrew's temple, I feel like we should figure out how to open this lockbox and see what's in it. It just feels off to me. Like, why would a member of the previous Emperor's Council have received a gift from the nation that caused the slaughter of Lord Tanavir, the Emperor, and all his most trusted?
Yeah, it doesn't sit right with me. Like I said, I can't remember who this guy was, but if he was ambitious, maybe he thought that a little overthrowing could set him in good standing.
Huh? Do you think that it could have a connection to the Alara woman?
I have no doubts that if Lord Gallius was being paid off by Arcantera, then judging by what we know about Lady Alara's feelings toward Lord Tanavir, and considering her interests also aligned with Arcantera's, then yeah, it's highly probable that there's a connection. I'd certainly like to know more about it. This box could very well contain crucial evidence or secrets that might unravel this whole tangled web. If Arcantera was indeed influencing members of the previous Emperor's Council, understanding their methods and motives could shine a light on a larger scheme at play.
Well, if she's been spying on us like we know she has, then yeah, I'd say it's pretty important we dig into anything even remotely connected to her. It could give us the upper hand.
It's a stretch to think this will lead straight back to her, though. Why would it? This is about a lord being compromised, not Alara directly.
Bruh, you know what I meant? Any thread we can pull that might unravel her plans or her allies? It's worth exploring.
All right, so any ideas how we might get this thing open?
I could always try smashing it.
Nah, that won't work, buddy. Look at it. Snagglegut gave it his best, judging by all the scratches and scrapes. And look, it's still in one piece, practically laughing at his efforts.
Exactly. But what's the harm in trying? Maybe it just needs a bit of actual strength.
Give it a go then, buddy. We already know Snagglegut tried and nothing bad happened to him, so it's not trapped. At least not from the outside.
Just be careful, Raar. We don't know if Snagglegut tried all the possible angles. Plus, this thing might have more sophisticated protections that aren't triggered by brute force.
And please, for the love of the gods, let's not damage what's inside. There could be something delicate or volatile in there.
Before you start, let me take a closer look. Maybe I can find a mechanical weakness or a hidden latch. And if I can't find anything, then I'll just try using my spell knock on it. It's worth a shot before we resort to the more direct approach.
All right, give it a quick once-over, but then I'm taking a fucking swing at it.
Joe, I want to investigate the box, see if there is anything that we're missing that could open it.
I'm gonna help you with this, Mite.
Cheers, Saxy.
Give me an investigation check with advantage, Mite.
Oops, that's a 17.
Mite, your fingers trace the contours of the lockbox, seeking out secrets hidden to less discerning eyes. The metal, cool and unyielding beneath your touch, offers no immediate answers, its surface seamless and immaculately crafted. As you examine each inch, your hope of discovering a hidden latch or a concealed keyhole dwindles. The box is an enigma, fashioned with such expertise that it defies ordinary attempts at entry. No clasp mars its smooth surface, no keyhole invites a key. It is as if the maker intended it to be impenetrable, a silent guardian to whatever lies within. The only break in the continuity of the metal is a subtle rim that encircles the box, suggesting that it does open, though how to do so remains a mystery. It almost seems, as you ponder its construction, that if it weren't for this slight rim, the object could be mistaken for a solid piece of hollow metal, crafted by a master artisan or by hands not of this world.
Yeah, well, I expected as much. All right, then. I'm going to use knock on it.
Mite, you step forward and extend your hands towards the obstinate lockbox. You whisper the incantation, feeling the weave of magic pulse through the air. As the spell takes hold, a sonorous echo fills the space, a sound that should herald the yielding of locks and the release of secrets. Yet as the wave of magic meets the surface of the lockbox, something unexpected happens. Instead of the satisfying click of a mechanism giving way, there is only a faint screech, a sound not of yielding, but of steadfast denial. It is as if the box itself is alive with purpose, its will bent on guarding its contents against intrusions, even magical ones. The screech lingers in the air like the cry of a defiant sentinel. It is a sound that seems almost pained, fraught with the burden of years of guardianship. The box remains resolutely closed, its secrets intact, its surface unmarred by your magical efforts. The spell dissipates, leaving only a heavy silence in its wake.
Well, that's weird.
Smashy smash time?
It is indeed smashy smash time. Have at it, buddy.
Excellent. Joe, I'm going to raise my sword in the air and strike it as hard as I can in the crevice that runs around it.
All right. I'm going to need everyone aside from Raarh to leave the room for a few minutes.
Dude, are you serious?
Well, this can't be good.
All right then. Give me an attack roll, Raarh.
Reckless. That's a 23, Joe.
Raarh, you grip your sword tightly in both hands, lifting it high above your head. The heavy blade catches the flickering torchlight, casting ominous shadows against the ancient vault walls. Your muscles tense as you focus all your might on the thin crevice that encircles the stubborn lockbox. With a warrior's roar, you bring the sword down with devastating force, aiming to breach the seam of the mysterious box. Metal meets metal in a clash that echoes through the chamber. The impact should have been final, should have split the metal apart, yet what happens next defies all expectations. Instead of cleaving into the box, the sword meets an inexplicable resistance, not solid, but yielding. It feels as though the metal of the box becomes fluid under the force of your strike, wrapping around the blade, pulling it in. You watch, heart pounding, as the sword sinks deeper, the metal swallowing it like a liquid shadow, gripping it tighter than any scabbard. You pull back, exerting every ounce of your formidable strength, but the force that draws the sword inward is overwhelming, stronger than any physical might. It tugs at your weapon with the hunger of the ages, an insatiable need to consume and contain.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What are you doing, buddy? Do you want to let go of your sword?
You've got to be joking. Hell no. I'd rather die. Well, maybe that's a bit extreme, so don't be getting any funny ideas. But no, I'm not letting go.
You refuse to let go, Raarh. The metal pulls you in deeper, your hands gripping the sword with a warrior's resolve. As the liquid metal envelops the blade, the world around you shatters into chaos. Suddenly there is nothing. No allies, no vault, only an endless expanse of swirling metallic liquid. It is as if you have been transported into an ancient, forgotten realm, a place that defies the laws of nature and magic alike. From the depths of this metallic sea, a colossal figure begins to rise. It towers above you, standing at least 20 feet tall. Its form, neither demonic nor angelic, but entirely alien. Its body, forged from the same liquid metal that surrounds you, shapes into a visage of cold, merciless precision. This being knows not of consciousness, but embodies a pure, unbridled force of destruction. As you stand, defiant and alone, a red glow ignites within the chest of the metallic colossus. A beam of pure, searing energy shoots forth, aimed directly at you. But at that critical moment, your sword erupts in a storm of ancient power. From its steel, mummification wraps burst forth, moving with a life of their own. It's almost as if the bindings of Nepthit-Ka, Anubis's harbinger of justice, long dormant within your blade, have awakened in defense of its bearer. The wraps surge forward. They lash around the towering figure, pulling with the strength of the ages. The metallic giant struggles against the binds, but the wraps are relentless. They drag it down, crushing and restraining with unyielding force, pulling the entity towards the liquid metal floor. The giant's attempts to rise are futile. The power of Nepthit-Ka is overwhelming.
Hearken, ye abominable construct, scourge of the verdant lands, defiler of the sacred earth. Thou who dost lay waste to the sanctuaries of life and pillage the bastions of the living, attend now to my decree. He is not thine to claim, nor thine to take.
As the wraps tighten, compressing the colossus into submission, the chaotic world of swirling metal begins to stabilize. Slowly, reality seeps back in, the familiar stone walls of the vault flickering into existence around you. Your allies reappear. The sword in your hand quiets, the storm of wraps retracting with the subdued thrum of contained power.
What the fuck?
All right, guys, you can come back in now.
What happened? Did it work?
As you look at the box, Saxy, you notice that nothing has changed.
So it didn't work then. Well, it's not like we didn't expect that outcome.
Are you okay, Raarh? You seem a bit zoned out.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I don't think anyone should try force that box open.
Why? What happened?
Just don't try to force open the fucking box, Alexandrew. It sucked me in, like, really hard. It's because I didn't let go of my sword. And then there was this big metal man that came from the floor, and he was gonna launch some kind of fire attack at me from his boobies. I mean, what the fuck, right? Then it just stopped. So yeah, don't try to force the box open.
Did we see any of that, Joe, what Raarh is describing?
Nope, nothing at all. He was just stood there, gawping with his sword held limply in his hand.
Damn, Raarh, I didn't know you had great sword dysfunction. Feels bad, man.
I do not have great sword dysfunction. It was the box. It did something weird. I swear, the sword was like part of my arm 1 second. Then next thing I know, it's getting sucked into metal boobies.
No, don't beat yourself up about it, buddy. It was probably just cold, right?
Yeah, Or maybe it just didn't feel appreciated enough. You know how these enchanted swords are.
Oh, haha, very funny. Laugh it up. But when you guys get sucked into a metal nightmare, don't come crying to me. I'm not saving any of you from the chest of doom.
We're just poking fun at you, buddy. But seriously, are you feeling okay from your fight with Snagglegut? Did you eat anything when we weren't looking? Specifically of the fungal variety?
I know you are, but I'm not joking. I'm being goddamn serious here. I haven't eaten any magic fucking mushrooms, and I'm not hallucinating. That happened, guys. It was real as any of us standing here.
Oh, I don't doubt you for 1 second, Raarh. A magical box from a distant land that's cut off from the rest of mortal Azure? If this doesn't scream weird Arcantarian trap, I don't know what does. Let's face it, we're not getting into this box without the right key.
But man, I've told you there's no keyhole. Weren't you listening?
A key doesn't always have to be a physical piece of metal, Might. It could be anything, a word, a gesture, an object of significance. There might be hints about what that key is, hidden somewhere here, or maybe not, and we might never open this box.
Well, if I had a box like this, with whatever crazy shit is in there, I'd keep the key on me at all times.
Damn, dude. That's an excellent point. I bet if there is a key for it, it would indeed be on his person. But where would we even begin searching to find him?
Well, he's probably rotting in the ground somewhere. I can't imagine if he were alive that he'd have just stood by and watched as a bunch of not-so-friendly goblins and ogres decided to come and start squatting on his land.
Don't even get me started with squatters. I hate the bastards. I'll tell you this, if I could get my hands on them, I'd shove my sword right up their asses.
We are talking about your actual sword, not the jokey innuendo one, right?
Don't piss me off, Mike, because I'm warning you, I'm in no mood. I'll eat your fucking cat face. The green god's patience is thin.
But I don't own a cat.
Well, I'll fucking buy you one, let you name it Mittens, wait until you begin to love it, then I'll eat it.
What the hell's wrong with you, man? Why would you eat my hypothetical cat named Mittens?
Because I'm twice as fucking mean as I am fucking green.
I just want to point out, putting the animal abuse aside for a moment, as we get stronger, you should dip your toes into Bard. You have quite the poet in you.
Oh, wow! Do you really mean that? Thanks, man. I'd be the #1 barbarian.
Well, that was certainly interesting. But yeah, I reckon you're onto something there, Alexandrew. If he is dead, and he could be buried somewhere on his land, around here, where would we even begin searching for that?
How the hell should I know? Why don't we go ask the new Gobbo chief or Grizzletooth?
I mean, that's as good of a plan as any. But one thing's for certain, we're not going to make any progress just fucking stood around.
Yeah, okay. All right, Joe. We're going to head back outside then, I guess. Find Grizzle or Gaba, and see if they know anything.
Hey, Tronald, did you ever manage to identify them 2 items?
I don't know. Joe, did I ever manage to identify them 2 items?
Huh? Did you want to identify them 2 items?
Yeah, I'd very much like to identify them 2 items.
Sweet. Then yeah, sure, dude. You've managed to spend enough time to identify both items.
Awesome. So, yeah, Mike, I managed to identify both items.
Perfect. So what do they do?
I don't know. Joe, what do they do?
As you settle into the quiet focus required for the spell, Tronald, your hands hover over both the wolf ring and the vine necklace. You begin to chant the incantations for identify, the arcane words flowing smoothly from your lips, casting a subtle glow that shrouds the items in a soft magical light. The ring, forged with the likeness of a wolf, warms under your touch, its secrets unfolding in your mind's eye. It grants the wearer the power to cast Speak with Animals an infinite number of times. This magic taps directly into the primal essence of the animal kingdom, allowing for seamless communication with creatures of all kinds. No attunement is required, making it immediately useful to whoever slips it onto their finger. Your focus then shifts to the vine necklace, which is intricately crafted with silver that twines like the stems of a vigorous plant, an emerald nestled at its heart. As the spell's energy probes its structure, you discover it allows the wearer to cast Speak with Plants twice a day. This piece, too, connects deeply with the natural world, fostering dialogue with the flora around you. Similarly, it requires no attunement, offering its gifts freely to any who wear it.
Oh, come on, Joe. Seriously?
Huh? What have I done wrong?
You know exactly what you've done.
Ooh, they sound interesting. I can't wait to give it a try. I've always wanted to speak to an animal or a plant before I ate it.
You're actually a psychopath.
And you're actually bald.
He raises a valid point, Alexandrew. You are bald.
Are we gonna try find Grizzle and Gaba or what?
Yeah, Joe, we head on out.
Saxy, with a sense of purpose, signals to the rest of the group that it's time to move on. You follow him as he leads you out of the vault's mysterious aura, through the corridors of the fort, which now seem mundane in contrast to the magic-imbued confines you just exited. The fort's stone walls, cloaked in the shadows of torchlight, whisper secrets of ancient times as you pass, but you leave them behind, stepping out into the open air of the courtyard. The scene before you is one of raucous laughter and chaotic entertainment. You find Grizzletooth and Goba at the heart of a boisterous gathering of goblins and ogres. They have ingeniously turned frog tossing, a game you recall involves skill and precision, into a wild drinking game. Each successful toss of a small, surprisingly cooperative frog into a series of increasingly ridiculous targets, a bucket, a hollowed-out pumpkin, even an old helmet, elicits a cheer from the crowd and a round of potent, murky drinks. The targets are set up in a semicircle, and each participant must take a swig of the drink before tossing their frog. The frogs, for their part, seem to have grown accustomed to their role in the game, appearing resigned yet unharmed, often hopping back into the action without any prompting.
All right then, Joe. I guess I'll walk over to Grizzletooth.
Tronald, hand me the ring. Hand me the ring right now.
Sure, here you go, buddy.
See what you've done, Joe. Why you thought it would be a good idea to give us them 2 magical items is beyond me.
All right, Joe. I want to walk up to the frog tossing event, cast the spell from the ring, and say to the frog, "Hey there, frog. How are you?"
Raar, as you begin to make your way through the raucous crowd at the frog tossing event, you find yourself navigating a sea of enthusiastic goblins and ogres. They pat you on the back with surprising force and offer you their crudely concocted drinks, their faces split with wide, infectious grins. Yet despite the rowdy festivities around you, your focus is unwavering. You have your eyes set firmly on the guest of honor, the frog. As you approach the tossing line, your hand instinctively goes to the wolf ring on your finger, rubbing it gently. You feel a warmth flood through your body, a surge of magical energy priming you for communication with the natural world. Reaching the makeshift playing field, you spot the frog in question, a rather plump, glossy green creature sitting nonchalantly amongst a pile of leaves. Gently, with a surprising delicacy for a man of your stature, you scoop up the frog in both hands. Holding it level with your gaze, you study its calm, bulbous eyes, and with a grin, you begin to speak. A few moments pass before the frog eventually speaks back.
Oh, hey there, you're another one of those bipedal frogs, right? Oh, I'm swell. Just living ma life to the fullest, being tossed around and whatnot. Yep, living the dream.
Well, that's good to hear, I guess. Suppose you don't mind all the, being thrown around then.
Mind it? Well, I suppose it's not the worst thing. It's like being a celebrity, really. Everyone's always cheering for you. You get to fly through the air, see the world from up high. And the landing's not so bad. Let me put it this way. I'd rather be with you guys than in the hands of the French.
Truer words have never been spoken, Mr. Frog. But don't you get dizzy, being flung everywhere?
Oh, all the time. But it's all part of the gig. You gotta learn to roll with it. And as for the fans, oh, they love a good spinner. They're all about the twirls and whirls. And I'll let you in on a little secret. The trick is to always keep smiling, even when you're upside down and backwards. Makes them think you meant to do it that way. It's all about style, my friend. Gotta keep it sassy, gotta keep it classy, give the people what they want.
I like you, Frog. Why don't you come with me? You can be my pocket frog.
Oh, I'd love that. Being your pocket frog? That sounds amazing. I've been dreaming of hitting the open road, seeing the world. From the day I was born, yep, them 20 weeks ago when I was just a little tadpole. Oh, how I've grown. I'm so excited. The places we'll go, the bugs we'll see. I hear there are flies out there as big as your thumb and ponds with water so clear you can see right down to the bottom. It's going to be a whole new adventure, a whole new set of tales to tell the kids. I just can't wait to hop along for the ride.
Oh, wow. You have children? How many?
Oh, yes, I have 2,581 little tadpoles, and they're quite the lively bunch. Would you like to hear their names?
Oh my God, please no.
I would love to hear their names, Mr. Frog.
Oh, there's no need to be so formal there, buddy. You can call me Pepe.
All right, guys. So as Raar has just stood there, gazing into the frog's eyes, listening to the reel of names it's croaking out, what are the rest of you doing?
Well, shouldn't we crack on with what we were supposed to be doing here? Before Raar got sidetracked with a frog.
Yeah, all right, so I want to walk up to Gaba and Grizzletooth. Hey guys, sorry for interrupting your celebrating. But we found something quite interesting inside of the fort. Something that could potentially link to a trail we've been tracing, well, for quite a while.
Gubba, wiping a bit of grog from his chin with the back of his hand, grins up at you, shaking his head.
Nah, you're not interrupting anything. Just a bit of fun, isn't it, Grizzle?
Right you are, Gobba. Right you are. Hey. Is it just me, or does Saxy sound different to you?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I think he does. Or maybe it's just the grog plugging our ears up. Who knows? Right? Anyway, you said you needed our help for something. Just name it. Anything for you guys.
Well, we're on the trail of a man named Lord Gallius. He was the previous occupier of this fort before you guys rolled in. This Lord Gallius was potentially involved in some very shady dealings. Dealings that might have repercussions extending far beyond these walls. I guess what we're wanting to know is, did you bump into anyone when you arrived here? Or was the place already abandoned?
Gubba scratches his head, his eyes narrowing as he recalls the state of the fort upon their arrival.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, it was already abandoned, meaning there weren't a living soul here. Not one. I'll tell you what there was, though. Lots and lots of corpses. More like bones, really. They must have been here for quite some time before we arrived. Anyway, Snagglegut, he dashed straight into the fort to look for goodies. Made the rest of us clean up shop, get rid of all the boneses outside. So we moved them all outside the north wall. So if you're looking for anything left behind by that Lord Gallius or whatever secrets he might have had, that pile outside the north wall might be a good place to start digging.
That's great, Gaba. Thanks for that. Right, well, we're going to head off over there then. No doubt you lot will still be partying when we get back, but don't worry. As soon as we finish this, we will be going straight to sleep, so don't expect any more questions or interruptions from us. Enjoy yourself. Get absolutely wasted.
So are you all heading towards the outer of the north wall?
Yep, let's see what we can find.
As you all begin your trek towards the outskirts of the north wall, the fort's grim history whispers through the crumbling stone and overgrown pathways, the moon's silver rays bouncing off the varied landscape before you. The ground beneath your feet grows uneven as you approach the designated area. Here, the wild has begun to reclaim the land. Vines crawl up the old stone walls, weaving their tendrils with a tenacious grip. Weeds sprout stubbornly between scattered stones, and foliage bursts forth in a riot of green, as if to cover the scars of battle and abandonment. Yet as you draw nearer, you notice an unsettling detail amidst the greenery. What at first appears to be a mere mound of vines and underbrush reveals a chilling addition. Bones are intermingled with the vegetation. The closer inspection unveils a macabre mosaic, human skulls of ordinary size, but also larger and smaller ones, painting a picture of diverse victims, or perhaps fallen foes. This is clearly where the goblin horde has been dumping their own dead as well, a communal grave undisturbed by the sanctity often afforded to such places. As you stand there, it becomes clear. This is most certainly the area that Gaba told you about. The grim collection serves not only as a reminder of the fort's violent history, but also as a potential trove of clues, waiting to be unearthed and understood.
Nice. All right then, let's start digging. Come on, Raar. Put that frog down. We have work to do.
How about go fuck yourself? Can't you see I'm in the middle of a conversation? Pepe has only told me 213 of his sons and daughters' names so far. I plan to hear him out. As you were, Pepe. Just ignore Alexandrew. He's a rude bastard.
Oh, great. So now even a frog's taken priority over me as far as Raar's concerned. Feels good, man.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up here. I've got a pounding headache, so I'm just going to get some rest.
Don't lie to me, boy. You just want to watch some of them Animal Kingdom fights, don't you?
That's outrageous. I'm deeply hurt by your words, Mike. Anyway, I'm off to sleep now, guys. See you on the next one.
So many females gathered together on this cliff inevitably attract the attention of a rival adult male. His aim is to defeat